Alright, before I even get into this, I do want to say I started working a new shift at work, so my upload schedule might be a bit off. Who knows? I can't really call it yet, but since I'm working mornings, my videos might not come out till like around 8 p.m., maybe 7 p.m. Usually I get them off in the afternoon. Now for this manga, I'm gonna give you a warning before I even start. It's gonna get really weird. I'm not gonna even say it's gonna get weird. It's gonna get weird within like the first 30 seconds. Now I've warned you, so you can't complain about nothing. Now the manga starts off by introducing us to our MC as this dude who's a failing author. He makes manga in the adult genre and it seems like it's not going too well for him. And the main reason for that is because he has no experience with that type of stuff. So whenever he makes one of his manga, they just turn out dry and have a lack of depth to them. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, do not pity our MC at all. The only reason he's like this now and couldn't get with any other women was because he's only attracted to his sister. Like I said, it was gonna get weird within the first 30 seconds. Anyway, since our MC is like super lazy, sometimes he just forgets to eat, and one day he ends up passing out from the hunger. Now while he was passed out, he had a certain dream with his sister, very strange things. I can't really specify on what they did, but they did some very strange things. Let's just say he got some experience that he was lacking from earlier. And right after having that dream, he wakes up and guess who's there? The very sister he had the dream about. Apparently, since his sister is going to a college nearby, she decided she was just going to stay here with him while she's going to school. And since she knows how MC is, she also wanted to be here to take care of him. And since you already know our MC is kind of weird, this situation is obviously going to go bad. At the start, I mentioned that he was a failing manga author, but when his sister moved in, he got a new inspiration. He started making manga about him and his sister doing a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing. But as soon as he started making these weird manga, he started gaining some success. And right in this moment of success, we're finna find out something even more disturbing. Do you remember the dream before with his sister when he was passed out? Yeah, that wasn't a dream. We find out it's not a dream because we see her leaving the store with a pregnancy test. It turns out his sister is just as weird as he is. Now, despite our MC being who he is, he actually has a friend. But today he didn't come just to hang out with MC. His friend's name is Ishikawa, by the way. He has a pretty serious thing to ask, and it's pretty obvious what he's going to ask about. He's been reading the manga that MC's been putting out, and he obviously pieced together that the girl in this manga is his sister. So he came here to question MC about it because it's obviously weird. But instead of dropping him for obviously having some weird tendencies, he's more worried about how his sister will react if she finds out MC's been using her as a reference. But despite his friend's warnings, MC keeps doing his weird shit. But like it got revealed a second ago, it's really not like the sister minds it at all. But to give you at least one piece of good information, the test from earlier came back negative. Who would know a negative test would be the only thing positive to come out? Now we've introduced a couple of weird characters so far. Now it's time for us to meet the only normal character in this whole manga. After MC started doing better in the manga business, he eventually got an assistant to help him out. Her name is Monaco, and basically she just comes over to MC's house time to time to just help him meet his deadlines quicker. She also happens to be a big fan of MC's work, so you don't gotta worry about the nature of the manga he makes because she's a big fan of it already. And also by coincidence, she happened to be a friend of MC's sister. But as soon as Monaco sees them together, she kind of pieces the pieces together and she ends up pulling MC to the side to talk about something that is obviously going on here. She starts calling him out for obviously using his own sister as a model for his manga, and she obviously finds that super weird. But MC finds a way to weasel around it when she starts questioning him. He says some shit like, nah, I don't see her in that way. I just know she's good looking, so I use her as a reference. I don't have any improper thoughts about her. I just use her as a reference. You know he's lying about that, but Monaco isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, so she falls for this obvious lie pretty quickly, and she just lets everything slide. Now everything's going alright, but it's pretty hard to write a manga about somebody while living in the same home as them. After a little more time, MC's sister eventually finds one of the manga about her, but let me remind you again, she's also weird. MC just seems more weirder because he's the most prominent one, but both of these motherfuckers are on the same wavelength, so when she sees this, she's obviously happy about it because she found out that her brother is on the same weird shit she's on. And after finding out how her brother feels about her, she starts to get a little possessive. Obviously, since MC's been working with Monaco, they've been getting a little closer. His sister doesn't exactly enjoy that he's getting closer with other females, but I'm not going to put her in that yandere category because she never really acts on her possessiveness. I know we took the attention off of MC for a minute, but we're still going to be on his sister for a little second. She gets a break from school for the holidays, so she she decides to go visit their parents for a little minute. Side note, her mom is a baddie, but let's not get distracted. After seeing the mom for a bit, it's pretty obvious that she doesn't like her son at all. She kind of sees MC as a failure, but on the flip side, she showers her daughter with love to an unhealthy point. It's almost like she took all the love from her son and just doubled it for her daughter. Now, after leaving her parents' house, she came back to MC, but when she came back to MC, she came back wearing an old school uniform just as a cool little nostalgic surprise. But after seeing her like that, I guess that awakened something in him because he starts doing some weird shit again. And obviously knowing her, she didn't really mind. But then Monaco walks in, and obviously she ain't too happy about this. She pulls off MC to the side once again, because obviously there's a lot to talk about. He can't make an excuse this time, so he just tells her how it is. He admits how he feels about her. Now, I did say that Monaco was the only normal character, and I still will say that now because of what she does around the end. But right here, she makes one of the weirdest decisions that she could possibly make in this situation. She ends up asking MC to go out with her. Her train of thought was that if he got with someone else, he would stop looking at his sister in a weird way. And I guess Monaco happened to develop a little crush on him anyways, so this kind of works out in a way. And surprisingly, our MC actually accepts her. You would think bro would just reject her because he only got eyes for his sister, but he actually accepts her and they start dating. After that, he actually ends up telling his sister the news, and she looks obviously shocked, but she starts to play it off and she acts like she's supportive of their relationship. Now, MC and Monaco are dating. They look all cool and shit, but quite literally the whole time MC is with Monaco, he's still only really thinking about his sister. Even when Monaco is right in front of him, he's looking off and thinking about somebody else. You see, he's really not getting over his sister, and the main reason he's not is because somehow his sister lured him into doing practice dates with her. Practice in quotes. So MC's been practicing with her on the guys that it would help him be able to be a good partner for Monaco. She goes so far with the practice that they even ended up practice kissing, and then right after practicing with his sister, he would go use that experience on Monaco. But Monaco wanted to take a little step forward, so she ended up bringing him to a hotel. And it's pretty obvious what two adults do with each other at a hotel. But the whole time they're there, MC was still thinking about his sister. And obviously Monaco is eventually going to pick up on this. She can tell by just his expression that he's really not enjoying it, and he's thinking of somebody else while it's happening. So after obviously realizing the person she's with is looking for somebody else, she ends up dumping him right there, which is the correct thing to do. This is one of the reasons why I say she's the only normal person here. She noticed the dude she was with was a weirdo and she couldn't save him, so she left him. That's perfectly sane. Now, right after the breakup, we actually get a 1-year time skip, and we find that Monaco moved on and she's actually finding success in making her own manga. She's no longer MC's assistant, obviously, so she branched off, made her own books, and she's finding some success off of it. Now, while she was having all the success, MC actually ended up going on hiatus, and he hasn't released anything over the year that passed. Almost like he completely quit making manga just because they broke up. But it wasn't the breakup that made him quit. It's because he feels like shit after realizing how he is. He realized himself that he's a weirdo. Now, the reason he stopped making manga was because all of his inspiration came from his sister, so he felt like he only succeeded because of her. But he no longer wants to use her as a reference because he feels like he's tainting her. But without her, he doesn't know what to do. But honestly, I feel like that's the right route. He realized that something's wrong with him, and even though he's not doing anything, at least he's stopping himself from doing weird stuff. And now that he knows what's wrong with him, he has an ability to grow. Now that he knows him being around his sister probably isn't the best thing, he ends up asking her to find somewhere else to live, because as long as she's living with him, he's still gonna have these weird feelings. So to better himself, he wants her to go away. But this is when she starts revealing everything. She tells him that she knows about the manga he's been making about her. She also tells him that the dream he had at the start was not a dream and it actually happened. And probably the biggest thing she does here is that she ends up confessing to him. Not like the feelings weren't already obvious. Right once our MC was finna start getting on track of his redemption arc, she pulls this out, and knowing our MC, he obviously accepts her confession. They're both weirdos, but I guess they're weirdos together. Not like that makes it any better. Now right after that, we get another time skip, and it seems like they're doing better off now. MC looks healthy. You can see he shaved his hair down, got rid of the scrubby beard. He's looking healthy now. They ended up moving into a nicer place after MC started publishing manga again. Still making weird shit about his sister though, but due to making them stories, he gained some more success, and their life has been going fine and dandy. But then out of nowhere, they got a text from their parents asking to meet up because they obviously got some things to talk about. When they all meet up to talk, they bring up the elephant in the room, which is MC's manga that pertains his sister in it. And obviously as parents, they're gonna look at bro in disgust. Their mom ends up respectfully flipping out, and they want MC's sister, aka their daughter, to move back with them because they think MC is a weirdo, and they think that somehow MC manipulated his sister into staying with him and doing all this weird shit. But obviously MC's sister is gonna start defending him, and this makes their mom start tweaking out even more. So she just starts talking crap, which makes his sister proceed to slap the shit out of her and then go to kiss MC right after slapping her. This is obviously super weird. She is kissing her sibling in front of her parents. I don't want to be that guy, but if I was the mom, I would have disowned both of them right in that moment. I won't lie to you. I know you can't abandon your kids or whatever, but hell no, I don't fuck with that. You gonna slap me in my own house and then you gonna do some weird shit? Yeah, nah, I don't know you. After all that, the mom just starts tweaking out, but then the two of them just dip out saying fuck everybody, they're gonna live how they want. Now right after that, we get another time skip, and this is pretty much just to wrap up everything. MC ended up completing the manga that he was writing about his sister. Finally, that shit came to an end. He also somehow managed to become friends with Monaco again. Honestly, I would never want to see this nigga again if I was her, but somehow they became friends again, so that's cool. But the biggest reveal of them all is that MC and his sister somehow had a kid. And I'm looking at the child, no disrespect to the child, but how did it come out normal? I mean, I guess it is a fictional story, so it's not supposed to all be realistic and shit, but like, you could have gave her like an extra nose or some shit. That would have just made the ending hilarious. Or maybe it wouldn't. Let me not joke about that. I mean, anyways, I guess our two characters got their happy ending, I guess. Not really happy for me. Honestly, what I wanted to happen the most was for our MC to continue on his self-improvement arc. Like maybe he eventually got over his sister and he found some new love. Maybe he ended up getting back with Monaco or something cool like that. That would have been cool. But now we're just going to take the Alabama route and keep it pushing, I guess. Now for my final moments. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a while. Now I do want to say the writing in this is honestly not horrible. If they weren't related, this could have been a decent romance. Just change the main characters up a little bit. Instead of being his sister, it could have been like a childhood friend that he was deeply obsessed over, and she liked him back in a weird way too. And then you could keep everything how it was. Well, not everything, because there's certain moments that wouldn't really happen. But I don't know. I feel like there's a way around this to make it like not as weird as it is. Even if they weren't related, there's still a couple of weird moments, but that was like the main thing making it weird. Whatever though. I'll see y'all whenever I see y'all.